Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekly news show, where we've got a bunch of gaming news to go over for the first week in September.
That's right. But first, as you know, we gotta have an important word from our sponsors. Check it out.
What are you doing? Are you filming? Dude, stop. You're a piece of shit.
Gotcha.
Why are you watching me? You're always watching me.
What? That wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't put cameras in people's faces.
You're right.
When they least expect it.
Bathrooms.
All right.
Well, the first thing we got this week is the race is over. They've done it. They hit level 60 in WoW Classic. So,
How long has it been out?
I'm surprised
79
Dell didn't
hours
hit that first.
of non-stop grinding since Monday. Joker TV.
Jesus
Slacking.
Christ.
Yeah, and so there's some people like upset about it, mainly because they're jealous because there's like there's a system called layering that they added to WoW Classic. So I don't remember. Do you guys ever play old MMOs where you'd be like you kill, the hill giant, and then you have to wait like 3 in-game days for it to respawn? Well, they do this thing called layering where it's like separate instances of the areas, and if you leave and come back, the NPCs are still there. So he was doing that to kind of kill things and not have to wait for respawns, and so there's some people upset.
Oh, that it isn't the purest
Yeah,
way.
it's like grow up. It's
shut
just like
up.
it's fine.
There's an
I
asterisk by
honestly
that,
don't even
apparently.
give a shit who fucking completes it first. It is kind of cool, and I guess in the most purest form, then you want the most purest way of completing it the first time. But
Yeah.
that guy's gonna get all the credit instead of Dell. Dell, you're slacking. What the hell? What the hell happened here? This is bullshit.
Well, there's a lot of WoW Classic problems that have happened since they've launched because there's been some servers with like 6-hour wait times.
Yeah,
we saw
the wait times are very, very
4
long.
hours still today. Like if you're trying to get on certain
What?
servers, and then they've already
Why
expanded.
don't they open new servers?
The problem is like there's ones that are popular and they're like, I want to be on the same server as Joker TV, and I'm gonna follow them around, and so everyone wants to play on these couple
Well,
ones.
it's an older game. I'm not sure if they can really increase the player count anymore. When you watch some of these people play, there are so many fucking people there that you're like, no, I need to go to a less populated server. But I don't play WoW.
4 hour wait.
Never gonna play WoW. This was something I implemented 12 years ago, 13 years ago, because we lost a friend over WoW. Danny. Danny would just he would not hang out with us. He'd just sit in his room, play WoW only, and raid. Fuck.
Don't get sick.
Last week I was at one of the local places we were playing
already
Magic,
sick, Joe.
but they've got a little net cafe, and a guy had been waiting in queue for like 4 hours, and then the server, the computer that he was sitting at, renting time at, just sitting there watching this timer, it reset for automatic like Windows updates or something, and reset his queue, and it was kind of like I felt bad for him, but it was also kind of funny to me watching him
funny.
rage.
He's like,
So it's like,
"No."
dude, you're paying $5 an hour to have and you just stood there and yeah, so it was good times.
Good times to be had by all.
We got a little bit of an update of something we talked about last week. So again, Epic. Epic tries to go after all of these exclusives, and particularly indie games. And for the first time ever, someone turned them down and said, "No, look, we've been promoting Darq on Steam. It would be wrong of us to go back." And
Talked
then
about that last week.
You would have big backlash. Right?
yeah, so Tim Sweeney tweeted at them. He's like, "Look, I'm glad that you have been so successful. We like the game so much. Is one of the reasons we went after." And he said, "Look, if you want to be successful, you would let me sign a non-exclusive agreement. Tell you what, if you let me sign up with a non-exclusive agreement, I will donate 100% of the profits we make on the Epic Game Store." And we've got crickets back from Tim Sweeney. So
no response. So
yeah,
It's
I
been a
mean,
couple days, I
hey,
take it.
congratulations. Oh, you like that? Okay. Well, how about you let me sell it there too?
no.
How long has he been waiting for the reply?
Checkmate.
No, it's been a couple days. Yeah.
Fake thanks, fakes congratulatory.
But Tim Sweeney's always on Twitter. He's always just like, Epic's great and Valve is the devil, and why are people mad at me?
Yeah.
So if he wanted to respond, he definitely saw it. Well, the big thing this week is we got a lot of, I don't know if you guys saw, but NBA 2K had
Everyone saw.
Real fun-looking trailer.
No, what is it? What?
So,
What?
in addition to playing basketball, there's like some cool stuff you can do. I don't know if you like slot machines.
Oh,
I like
no.
slot machines.
Yeah,
There's like pachinko machines.
There's a casino in the basketball game now?
No. There's a basketball game inside the casino.
Oh, okay.
And then so what you do is
that's perfectly fine.
But it's not gambling because you can't cash out.
Right.
You can just put money in and then light it on
So
fire.
obviously, I did a angry rant on this, and I was surprised by some of the. Actually, I wasn't surprised by some of the pushback, and it wasn't all that much pushback. It was a lot of people supporting it, and I'm very happy to see that. The problem comes into effect when you get to the sports gamers.
Yes.
Because the sports gamers are often, they play no other games but the sports games, and they play no other games but their exclusive one that they think is the best.
Yeah.
So a lot of replies on Twitter, I was getting, avatars and banners that were nothing but the NBA game and the 2K game. And they were very, very angry at me. Joe, this is bullshit. You're going to change the mode, and we need more rewards. You're taking away our rewards.
They could do it way better than that.
Right, and the one response I had for everybody was like, would you like another mode instead of a slot machine, pachinko machine, ball drop, and some of these mechanics, a roulette wheel? Would you like, training camp? Would you like specific challenges that unlock the actual player that you want, that show you, here, if you do these things, you get this player. If you do this, you get this player. Or if you do this, you get to choose your player. But no, they think that it's my fault that the game is the way it's going to be, and if they take it out, then that's my fault. They're already arguing from a position that's been compromised, and they're lashing out at anybody. They're saying, you're going to make our game worse. It's like, you think I made the game worse? I don't even develop the fucking game.
Well,
they made the game. 2K made the game like that.
Yeah, well, it's something that you see a lot in people that are kind of like almost abused, and they think you're taking their crumbs away from them, because really 2K is just giving them crumbs. They're just like, look, tell you what, you play every day, we'll let you pay us to do other things. When you buy a game that is complete and you don't have to continue to buy stuff, you get this stuff for free, and you should get if you pay $60,
this stuff for free.
They should just be putting out more content. There should be paid skins if you want to do that. You want to buy a specific player, buy the player, but you shouldn't have to open up 100 packs to find them.
NBA 2K12, this wasn't in there. I think VC started at NBA 2K13 around that time frame, Joe. A lot of people were also, Joe, have you even played the game? Yes, I played the game. This guy used to play the games up
he
until
downloaded
recently.
it like 6
that
months
guy
ago.
across the street from me, Angel, still plays the fucking games. Our other friend Devin still plays the fucking games.
Well, what I hear from most people is like,
But
I
they're getting
usually
tired
buy
of it.
the game $60, and then I spend another $60 to $70 to make my guy player. I was like, oh my God, you're spending that much money just on the game just to make your guy a little bit better.
Another
That doesn't include
clarification.
all the other stuff, the packs and stuff.
Right. And the card packs is the only thing that you can truly buy. You can buy VC coins as well, because they're wrong. That's what you buy.
You can buy
VC
the coins and
for
the packs.
in order to buy the packs. But and they wanted to, and a lot of people were screaming, Joe, you're fucking lying. You actually can't spend money on the wheel. I never said you could spend money on the wheel.
Yeah.
I was laughing at how fucking blatant
looks like,
everything looks. Like a casino.
It's a literal slot machine.
Literal
It's
slot
just-
machine. It is a literal fucking roulette wheel, and these are the kind of mechanics you're excited about, and that 3-year-olds and E for everyone are playing in the fucking game, and it doesn't need to be that way. Sports games were so much better 10 years ago. Hell, even Madden, fucking previous versions of Madden are still more feature complete and rich than this year's versions.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just wild that some people become so complacent and so maybe they're young and they didn't play the games before to know what they're like. But you're arguing on behalf of getting fucked over and having to play through these games of chance in order to get what you want. Realize you're the one that spent $60 on this game, and then the content's already there. So you want to unlock LeBron James, and you're like, fuck, let me pay money to get
random
the VC
and
coins
hard.
to spend
But it's
another
only gold
$30.
border.
He's
I want
already on the
purple border.
fucking disc.
Opal, Sapphire, now it's
That's even crazier, Joe. I showed Joe this. I was like, it's worse in a mobile game because mobile games do, like fucking rarities, right? And they'll do, bronze, silver, gold, diamond. The NBA fucking rarity, this Joe just pointed out, is fucking insane. There's like emerald, and they changed it all up so that they can have 19 tiers of rarities, and it's really bad. And so I want to bring attention to it, and I'm glad that my video, got a lot of views, and that people, responded well, and they were even tweeting at the ESRB ratings because they're on Twitter.
Yeah, radio silence from them. There was a lot. They got beat up quite a bit this week. The ASRB and then Peggy in Europe both got. There's a lot of videos made. You guys probably saw all these things. There has been response from Peggy, but there's been no response from the ASRB. And Peggy has their hands tied a little bit more than the ASRB because there is in the United States there is real gambling and simulated gambling stamps that can and should be on games like this. And for some reason, the ASRB decided, nope, E for everyone, none of these stamps.
Right, well, and that's what I'm calling out specifically. I want something done on this. 2K cannot do something so insulting, so blatant, and have trot out these YouTubers to fucking sell out and shill this gambling garbage, and not have some kind of reaction, because they're basically slapping everybody. They're fans, lovers of games. They're ruining our sports games. And at the very least, I want somebody to acknowledge this and take action. One of the things is this very plainly laid out on the ESRB website. It says simulated gambling is T for teen. Yet they've rated the game E for everyone.
And then what's important?
This was a disparity, because there's also real gambling, and that's within the adults-only category. Yeah. Now, simulated gambling does not mean that, Joe, the wheel is free. The slot machine, when you pull the thing, it's free, so it's not gambling. You're right. It's not. It may not be real life gambling where you're going into a casino and you're cashing out, but that is called simulated gambling. It doesn't matter if you're paying money into it, even though you're paying virtual currency into it. That's simulated gambling. That is a clear violation of the ESRB's own rules that they set up. And I've tweeted at them multiple times. There's been hundreds of you guys that have went out and tweet them, and I encourage you to continue to tweet them. Do not let them weasel their way out of this and stay silent, which is what they're doing. Yeah. And I've looked on their Twitter. They have responded to people in the past. As early as a few days ago, they've responded to people, and they're continuing to put out new tweets and pretending like they don't see thousands, hundreds of people tweeting at them. And my verified check mark, that goes into a separate account and you can see it. They're ignoring all of it. And I want an answer. Yeah. We, as the consumers, which is why the ESRB exists, they're there to serve us instead of the other way around. But that's what they're doing. They're serving the other way around.
I mean, the people
they
who
need to
oversee
reply.
Them, yeah, I mean, like the people who make up the ESRB have strong, or sometimes they're even still part of the game industry. And so the issue is that if they put the simulated gambling on this, they'll have to put simulated gambling on everything that EA does.
What doesn't make any damn sense is that, and Yong pointed this out, Pokemon, the video game, has, simulated gambling, and it's rated T for teen. Yeah. And it's only because there's a little slot machine and you can get, images of Pokemon going across, and then you're rewarded with an in-game item. That is exactly the slot machine from NBA2K.
You don't have to pay for that either.
And you don't have to pay for the Pokemon one. You're doing in-game currency. You don't have to pay for the NBA one. It's a free spin. That is both simulated gambling, yet one is rated E and one is rated T for teen. And the only thing that I can find is other people have done research and looked around and they said, and I don't know if this is true. I haven't done the research, but they say that the Take-Two owns 2K, which, by the way, Take-Two also owns, guess what, Grand Theft Auto, and they put the big casino in there and did a big fucking trailer and got received, the same way. So no wonder these gambling mechanics are showing up in, the NBA 2K games. But they're owned by the same company. There's like a CEO of then that particular company, Take-Two, who's also on the board of this other company, who also has, interest in the ESRB or some bullshit like that. I'd have to look it up. But I'm over here searching for answers, Why are you not responding? And why is this, happening in our sports games? Because it's literally destroying our sports games.
It is.
Some sports games have completely stagnated, and they're doing this kind of mechanics without even innovating. At least there's maybe one good thing I can say about NBA as a franchise. At least they seem to innovate, and they try to put in new
stories
things.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
But they still have this garbage, and you don't need to put up with that garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You push back, and guess what? They'll
Get something
respond
better.
by getting something better, getting something more fun, getting something more direct.
Yeah, we have to kind of lobby our governments, both here in the United States and the EU, to do what Belgium did, and that's the easiest way around it, because even 2K respects what Belgium did, where they said that it doesn't matter. We consider gambling, whether you can cash out or not, it's still gambling. And 2K changed all of their games for Belgium. They're like, look, we will make sure that none of this stuff exists there. And if we can get the laws like that passed in the United States and the EU, and say, look, it doesn't matter whether you can cash out or not, it's still a slot machine. You can still put a 4-year-old in front of the TV and have them do it. It's wrong.
And I guarantee you guys, your sports games will be better, because they will be forced to innovate. They'll be forced to put in new modes. They'll be forced to compete with each other. It'll be amazing. We'll get them back. But the sports gamers are just so complacent, and they're so I don't know what to call it. Just used to getting fucked over, and they think it's the default value, but it's not.
Well, they think that you're attacking, everything about their little group, and when you're trying to make everything better for them, they're like, no, you're gonna hurt what I love. And it's, look, we love games too, but at the same time, you shouldn't have to live and play that way.
So guys, if you're watching this video, please tweet at ESRB Ratings, and let's continue to tweet at them and send them emails or send them messages or call them, whatever we need to do in order to get them to put out a statement. Peggy put out a statement.
Yeah,
right?
People kind of dogpiled on Peggy. Look, I don't want to defend them, but there were some people saying Peggy is promoting gambling against children. That is not true in the least. They're not condemning it, which is not the same thing. I mean, there's gray in there, but it's important for people to read what it is. They said it doesn't currently meet our legal definition, so that's why the stamp wasn't there. But, and who knows if this but means anything, it could just be blowing smoke up our asses. It probably is. But they at least said, we're looking into it, we're having internal discussions about it, and we know that it's a big deal, and hopefully something comes of it. And we know that Europe is a little bit more progressive as far as protecting the consumers than we are in the United States. So if someone's going to do something, it'll be Peggy before the ESRB.
I don't know. Yeah, the Article 13 getting fucking things over there. So yeah, sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. They have just as much corporate influence on what's going on over there as they have here. It's just that the Peggy made a response right away. A lot of people were upset with that response. They may not be promoting gambling, but in my opinion, it's almost the same thing. If you're saying that this game is rated for 3+, and we understand that 3-year-olds probably don't play NBA 2K, but 6-year-olds do. I know an 8-year-old who does, right across the damn street. Whether it's simulated gambling, whether it's real gambling, you're exposing children to that, and you're getting this normalization of that. The YouTubers go, and you're not even doing anything. You're not even looking. One guy's not even. I'm not looking. No looking. There's nothing. That's not
no skill.
Well, he's not looking because it wasn't really there. It was just made up stuff. It's like, all right, be excited. We're gonna give you LeBron James.
Pretty fucking much. And I had no idea these two were YouTubers.
Yeah.
They were like, and I had people, Joe, you're putting these two on blast. You're starting beef, and I was like, I thought they were fucking paid actors.
That wasn't our intention.
Yeah, when you
and I guess they are paid actors now, right?
Yeah.
And Joe, I can't believe Joe did some investigative journalism over here. He was like, Joe, look at this. And I come around, and Joe's watching a video.
We basically found out it looked like an event because it was them two, and they were meeting Jason, one of the basketball players. The guy looked like he didn't want to be there, but they were just like.
So they were so happy. They hey,
stuff.
come to this event. You'll meet one of your basketball stars. And what are they doing? They're wearing the exact same clothes that they're wearing in that video. So after a while, they were like, okay, did you have fun when you're at the basketball? Okay, come over here, sit in this room. We have it all messed up. And I need you to be like, oh, and the wheel rolls, and you're going to win the absolute best prize. And they fix the odds in their favor. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. This is what exactly has been exposed previously, and this stuff is so blatant. We need at least some kind of fucking response or acknowledgement, at least people following their own goddamn rules. If you want to have games like this, fine, let them be rated M for mature. Let them be rated adults only. If it's real fucking gambling and if it's simulated gambling, let it be M for mature. I'm not saying we can't ever have literal slot machine games because some people like them, even they're fucking stupid, but you can have those games, but they needed to be rated appropriately at the very fucking fucking least so that it discourages these companies from sticking these types of mechanics into every single fucking game that we play as gamers. That's all I'm asking for. And it blows me away that, you know, these two guys have gotten no blowback whatsoever. Like, you look at Social Blades and you don't see numbers falling or anything like that. They have no blowback because that's how used.
Their community.
Their community is just so used to them busting packs and having these massive reactions, and they're so used to buying their own packs and living vicariously through these people. And I just hate this little fucking economy that has been created around our sports games that is stagnating them, especially in Madden. So I'm done. Sorry. Another mini angry rant.
Well, the last thing we want to talk about is the monetization that's come up in Rainbow Six. Some people are really upset because now we're going to have a season pass and a battle pass, and there's a skin for everything, and then there's like new story and paywalls. And I think that the amount of people that are a little sensitive about this, I mean, people like making a big deal about small things. But you and I were talking about it, and if they're adding new things to the game, and this is stuff that comes outside of what it was existence, and I don't have that much of a problem with it.
Right.
But
I don't understand. Now somebody might be able to better explain it in the comments. The game is old. It came out a long time ago.
4 years ago, right?
And they have made multiple improvements to the game. It's very fun to play. And they're, by all accounts, I think they're done with their original season pass. Mm-hmm. So what comes out afterwards? If people are still fucking playing the game, then they got to make new characters or they got to create new content for the game. And that does cost a little bit of money. So unless the season pass is 3 times the cost of the original or double the cost of the original or something crazy like that, then I'm not really understanding any sort of greed or outrage here. I think Young Yam made a video. I haven't watched that one. I didn't know you were going to do this news story, but I just think that, at least in the case of Rainbow Six Siege, if it's a game that has made its content and it's still doing well, then they have a right to continue to create new content.
And it's cosmetic
it's
stuff
like
only, right?
It's like expansions.
Yeah.
Remember old school expansions packs? Like were like $30 or whatever. Brood War. Even up recently, Witcher did one. Blood and Wine.
Oh man,
that
that's
kind of
so
stuff.
good.
Yeah, and now I realize these are only characters and new abilities and stuff.
There's
but
new story that comes along with it too.
If the community was asking for it, then hell, it's like. They're getting to continue to develop.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that you can pay for in games that.
And it's not fucking simulated gambling.
It's not random.
It's
right?
not fucking slot machines in your basketball game or roulette wheels where you're spinning to see if you get the golden bullets or the platinum bullets or the balsa wood bullets.
Oh yeah, that just kind of brings up something that I was looking at some NBA stuff. The community, like. Oh, how come they didn't say anything back in the day when Mario was doing it? Because, a little screen, you have to line up the mushrooms with.
In Super Mario.
There you go. I was like, really? You're gonna go all the way back to that?
That's really desperate.
Did you have to pay money? Did you have to pay money for that?
Did you have to bust open packs in the Mario game on the SNES? Did you bust open loot packs
you brought up
to
the
get
best.
fucking Steve Nash and goddamn LeBron James?
You brought up the best counterexample already. Is that in a current Nintendo game, they made it teen because of Pokemon, and so there is no more argument. Oh, how come you didn't do that? Look, things progress, and we have established that. Most of the consumers say that this isn't okay, and now it's time for the ESRB and Peggy to say it's not okay.
Well, that's it, and everybody just assumes that gaming is just static. And everybody say these ratings are created 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever it may be. And now we've seen new trends in gaming. What has been happening? Loot boxes has been popping up. Progression, that's controversy right now. That happens after they made their ratings. And you see, even the ESRB won't stick even to their old fucking ratings because they're still breaking the rules there. Yeah. These things need to be constantly updated and monitored, and that's what we're doing right now. And I know 90% of fucking people support us, and it's that 10%, that sunk cost fallacy, that must defend my game no matter what mentality that is getting a few bad apples defending a multi-million billion-dollar corporation who's just ripping you off for content that you already paid for already on the fucking disc. All right. Anyways,
thanks for bringing us back there, OJ.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Joe.
Just reminding me.
Let's talk about something that I am encouraged about is Cyberpunk. Look at this right here, right? They just recently did a deep dive, Joe, Joy was deep.
Was it?
No, it was not deep. It was only 10 minutes of deep dive. And boy, did they want to let you know it was a deep dive. Check it out.
Welcome back. Now, following the deep dive, there is an awful lot to talk about. So I found 3 of the very... Let's talk about them all we just saw in the deep dive video, because that's not linear. So in the deep dive, we can see that the character has 3 sort of origins. The Netrunner was featured pretty heavily in the deep dive, but can you... Now, in the deep dive video we just saw, we got a little glimpse of that.
Happens sometimes.
So in the deep dive, we saw a quick clip of the inventory screen. Let's say you want to do slightly non-lethal, because in the deep dive we did saw with Sasquatch. But let's tell us a little bit more about the solo builds, because that was another build from in the deep dive.
I swear to God, if you
sneak
say that
around
one more time.
find a different solution. And then
So we know we've talked about Netrunner and Solo, and we've shown both of them in our deep dive, but that's not just it. Right?
Did she do
There
it?
are other builds, so, you know, maybe...
I think I don't know it!
We've sort
I
of,
did a deep dive into my
or other
fridge.
examples would
For a
be
snack.
to use for her to
Talk about guns. What can we expect? So we saw a few. We saw the Militech turret being ripped out, used as a machine
In the deep
gun.
dive, right?
We saw the nanowires, but tell us a little bit. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Cyberpunk.
Oh!
Now don't forget, you can join us on all of our news. Cyberpunk 20 to explore Night City.
She did it! We know it! Deep dive record, ladies and gentlemen! Deep dive.
Deep, son.
I don't know why they did. Obviously, I loved the footage. I was trying to put together a trailer for it, and I realized, I don't know, this is kind of all over the place. You know, because last year they released the full 40-minute video that I had seen the year prior, and I was like amazed. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Because I was like, guys, just release it, you know, behind closed doors. And I think other people encouraged them too, and they released it, and boom, everybody was happy with it. So I don't understand why this year they changed it. Like, because they did show another new 40-minute one, but they like cut it up and only gave us 10 minutes, and then they gave us like an hour of talking. Now, I personally love CD Projekt Red, and I love all those developers that were there. You could see how excited they were for the game, and their smiling faces. But a lot, even my chat, who are already hardcore Cyberpunk fans, are like, ugh, you know, by the end of the hour, because it's like, it's seeming as if they're repeating their same points. You can play however you want. There's different paths. Yeah. You can play however you want, and there's different paths. Well, what are we going to get in this thing?
Well, did we tell
well,
you?
you can play how you want, and there's going to be different paths and things.
Ah, yes.
And anyway, but the impression I got is I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's, I mean, but to tailor my expectations and to not be so, you know, stratospherically overhyped, I think it's going to be like Deus Ex. Remember, you know, Human Revolution.
I just like how you can play however you want.
Yeah, you can play.
Where can you go?
You can go non-lethal and play. You can go anywhere you want.
Oh, okay.
You know. But anyways, guys. So I don't know why they did it like that, but it was certainly not a deep dive. It was more like a shallow dive, in my opinion. But I'm still excited for the game, and I hope you know, we do see maybe 1 or 2 more trailers. But I kind of want to. That's it. April. Let us play the game.
Yeah, I really
want to take off, and don't expect a review right away, because I'm gonna be immersing myself in that shit.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We got some other news from
Oh,
them,
yeah.
right? Because they announced that they're going to continue on with some of the existing franchises.
Oh yeah. So that's big. I mean, it was kind of hidden away, you know, because people didn't know. Are they done with Witcher? Are we not gonna get any more Witcher games? Shit, when I was talking to them last, it seemed like, you know, they were done with Witcher. You know, it's like, it's new, exciting Cyberpunk. Let's focus on that. And honestly, if you're doing the Witcher franchise for the past 10, 20 years, you want to move on to something else.
Yeah.
But Witcher franchise is very successful, and they're going to continue doing some of the games, it seems like, because they're going to split teams and have 2 development, you know.
Well, they bought that new campus. They've got so many more employees, and if they're almost done with development in Cyberpunk, which I imagine they're almost done,
Yeah.
then they're going to have a lot of like
so.
other resources that can go somewhere else. So it would be nice to see them put some stuff out. I mean, I loved Witcher 3. I loved some of the expansion. Like, Blood and Wine was incredible. And I just want to, even if they just keep putting out expansions like that, just don't go Skyrim on me and just constantly re-release it 40, 50 times. But,
it's not.
yeah, give me more. I'll buy it.
I was a fool who bought that for like every console. Except for Switch. I'm not going to get it for Switch. You can't fool me this time.
Yeah.
The Switcher.
Well, that's all we got this week. Thanks for stopping by. Please make sure that if you like the video, like and subscribe. It's free. And check out some merch.
Yeah.
down below. See you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.